Well, Cuba is one of the most popular southern destinations for vacationers in this province. But tonight, one traveler is telling a horror story about being seriously sickened when she ventured off her resort for a local excursion recommended by her travel provider. And she wasn't the only one. NTV's Layla Baudouin reports.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Like anyone would be, 34-year-old Terry Murphy was thrilled when she won an all-inclusive Sunwing vacation to Cuba this spring.
We were quite excited, actually.
A mother of two, she says she never dreamed her fears of something bad happening would come true.
And I said to my husband, you know what, this trip is going to be the death of me. And I actually said that to my husband.
It all started 2 weeks after she got back from her stay at Iberostar Laguna Azul in Varadero, Cuba. In her own home, she woke up one night covered in sweat, not able to breathe.
I actually thought that I was coming down with a flu.
After she realized it wasn't something she could brush off, she went to the hospital. And that's when her nightmare began.
Everything that could possibly show up in routine blood work was off.
For 1 month, doctors could not figure out what was wrong.
And I was fighting right down to the last breath that I was getting for the day.
Nodules showed up on her lungs and it looked like cancer. But then a connection was made. Other travelers also sick who took part in the same cave excursion back in Cuba.
But when they found out that all of us were together and between my family doctor and their family doctor, they contacted Eastern Health and said, we have a group of travelers that went on the exact same excursion together. And they're sick.
Turns out Murphy has caver's disease or histoplasmosis that doctors think she caught here at Saturno Cave in Cuba, a disease linked to birds and bats.
It right away, they said a cave, and they asked us if we had seen any birds or bats in the cave. Everywhere. Yeah, they were everywhere.
Murphy says 7 Newfoundlanders who were on that same trip have been diagnosed with caver's disease. Others are being tested. She's waiting on treatment that has to come from the U.S. Doctors say getting better could take over a year.
So my life has to be altered. I can't do what I used to.
A cave thing here.
As for why she's gone public, Murphy says she's shocked this Sunwing excursion is still being offered. In an email response, Sunwing says we are not aware of any customer complaints regarding histoplasmosis contracted at Saturno Cave. Regardless, Murphy says she'll never use the Canadian vacation provider ever again. Layla Baudouin, NTV News.
Well, after our story went public on social media this afternoon, Eastern Health put out a release warning people of cave disease or histoplasmosis while traveling. Terry Murphy told our Layla Baudouin that they are looking into the matter and interviewing doctors who've been treating people involved.